I give to you the one and only Christina.
Okay, so Sishan talked about her experience going into Worlds. I'm going to zoom out and try and give you a bit more of a global picture, because we are one country in nearly 70 countries that are now playing Ultimate. The Olympic Committee has officially ratified Ultimate as one of its potential sports, and we are aiming to have the Olympics, to have Ultimate at the Olympics at 2028. If LA gets it, which will be a beautiful movie story, because that's the birthplace of Ultimate 50 years ago. So we're all gunning for that. It's potentially beach, it's potentially mixed. So it's very interesting to think about what's going on on the global stage and how that might impact upon your decisions, because Martin and I might be just too old to 2028. Only a little, well, maybe. Might still take
Which ones they have?
Yeah, it's fantastic. So this is something to think about. It's very hard, I think, when you're a young player to think I have 10, 20 years of Ultimate still to go. Trust me, you will do, if you train well and if you think about your body. So I'm 34 years old. I'm Filipino-British, so I grew up in Hong Kong. I feel very strongly that I'm here to represent female Asian Ultimate players in leadership and sports and youth development. And I'll talk to you a little bit about, go on then, you can talk about that. So my talk is about a lot of things that are happening in the team, because I'd like you to think about this. Just like in the last Under-24 campaign, we're not just training you for a Worlds tournament. That's training you for 6 months of something. We would train you very differently, actually, if we were just trying to win in 6 months' time. It's also not really a feasible target. The most important target is winning. The most important target is Malaysia in 20 to 30 years' time, a phenomenal powerhouse of Ultimate in the Asian region and the global region. That's what we're aiming for, and that's why we have to take small steps and building blocks to avoid the regrets some countries have about the way that they've developed Ultimate in their countries. Okay? There's so many amazing things in Malaysia. That's why I love living here. Let's have a look. So I'm going to ask you all pose 3 things. They are strategy, spirit, and diversity. And this is taking some experiences that I had in the last year, as well as in the over 11 years I've been playing Ultimate. I'll talk to you a bit about that. But basically, you can see I'm going to talk to you about some of the things we saw happening across lots of countries in the world stage. Why spirit is becoming to the forefront of a lot of those conversations at clubs and in country level. And how Malaysia is about to kick ass in 20 years' time, because it already has incredible diversity. Okay, let's go. So my background, you can't see the photos, but it's not. So this is me playing at Amsterdam Windmill. I don't show these photos to toot my own horn. I do it to inspire women who think they can do it. I would inspire Filipinos who think they can do it, or Asians, whatever you think. If you have a thing that says, I'm not good enough because, I just want you to know that's not true. It's all sort of like stories we tell ourselves. Really need to start giving yourself some highlight reels, like Sishan was saying, so you know. So this is Amsterdam Windmill. We played against a mixture of the Sokai and Russian women. The Russian women actually won gold at Worlds last year. That's Ben Wiggins' wife. Ben Wiggins, one of the best coaches in the world. He's a very good player as well. I played for GB, it's in Great Britain. This is Great Britain mix, and we won this tournament. So this is Amsterdam in the run-up to Worlds. At Worlds, I didn't get to play against Sishan, although it would have been fun. But we came 5th. We lost to France in the quarterfinals. French. There's one of my stories of my Singapore game. It's that French game. And I only played 3 points in that game. So absolutely what Sishan's saying, it's not about suddenly I become a player that's needed every point. I become a player that has a job, that's used for particular kinds of things in competition. I know my job, I play for the team, I play for my country. This is the other thing we're going to draw on. It's called Barbados. We are a multi-Asian country women's team. We're from Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, and Korea. This was a mixture of some of the best women Ultimate players and the women who invest in women's Ultimate or the growth of Ultimate in their countries. Maybe not always the best players, but people who work so hard to make sure that there's Ultimate for young people and for their colleagues. We have something called abnormal. This is the abnormal pose. We're just trying to bring fun into the sport. We also have a campaign called Strength in Diversity. So the other thing we did is, I don't know if you saw last year, but there was also the Asia-Oceanic All-Stars, which EXPO was part of. And Black Widows and AO All-Stars partnered together because we both had some similar themes around Asian women and around ultimate development and youth, but we had very different agendas. AO All-Stars was to inspire and connect the Asia-Oceanic region, and are not a club, but they are like a conglomerate of all the All-Stars in those countries. Black Widows were a club. We've been going for 2 years. We were invited to play at the US Open. The US Open is one of the top tournaments in the US, and we went there in August. This is us playing as Fury. That game, perhaps the scoreline was a little like this. I think we lost 15-2. You got to lay out an Alex Schneider. That's the good one for me. But these are like those memories of things that I've really learned. And what was interesting is we learned so much from games like this. Just seeing what ultimate at the top elite level is like. We played exhibition matches as well. So this is us. I don't know if anyone watches the AATL. This is Madison Stadium, which Madison won. We played against the women's team, Madison Heist, and we beat them. We played Savage. We only had 7 women because of injuries. And we still managed to beat them. This was one of our amazing moments. I think the entire team collapsed at the end of it. It was really tired of 30 degrees. And now we're partnering across the region to conduct clinics to grow ultimate in 3 places. Oh, hi, Greg. You're not Martin anymore. Okay. So let's start with strategy. And when you think, as you watch this, think, what role do I play in the future of Malaysian ultimate? So I'm not going to go into detail on everything, but here are a couple of some of the main things we're doing across the region. Coaching accreditation. I know Greg is working on this as well. We need more coaches. So what was very interesting to hear is that across the globe, they're having a massive problem getting people to just coach. When we played in the US Open, we were the only team that didn't have a non-playing coach. In fact, a non-playing coaching team of like 3 or 4 people in charge of different aspects of management. We were player coaching ourselves. At the Youth Club Championships, which were also on at a similar time as the US Open, all of the youth clubs, and I mean like under 20s, under 18s, they all have non-playing coaches. Here in Malaysia, we tend to all play and sometimes player coach or captain, right? And that's not about a good thing, but it gives us certain benefits but certain limitations. There's nobody not playing, watching the game and looking at the tactics and saying what's going on, and also able to help adjust the team. What it does mean is every one of us have to work together to figure out what the other team is doing and communicate it during a game. That's our style of playing. But imagine if you had a playing coach doing that for you. Okay, right, this is what that team is doing, this is how they're beating us, here's the structure we're going to change to as a result. So it's just something to think about. Is your club investing in having coaches? In particular, is your club investing in having diversity of coaches as well? Okay, so not enough coaches, so working accreditation, we're also working on it. Women's development. You heard a lot about this, I don't know if many of you have been watching it, but the AUDL, professional league in the US, had a boycott last year. This was when male players refused to play because there was complaints about the fact that AUDL was created in such a way that barred women from being able to play, or made it very difficult for women to play at a professional level. And the reasons being given for it around what the audiences want to watch, it's kind of like one of those myths around media. So basically, we don't have enough coverage about women's sport. As a result of not having enough coverage, young women feel it's not really something for them. It's the same thing as for yourself if you look at particular jobs, or you look at particular universities perhaps, or even you look at ultimate clubs, and you go, I can't join them because I'm not like them. And it's a human thing that we do, but it's something that we need to recognize. We are creating that. We're saying the media doesn't want to watch women's sport. We're saying we don't have space to have diversity in clubs. But we can change that. It's about mindsets. And what happened here was very interesting because male players refused to play. And the AUDL now this year is forming a mixed league and a women's league. It's very slow starting. However, if you now look at Australia, Australia has just had its first professional mixed league. They play 6 on 6, not 7 on 7. So it's 3 men, 3 women the whole time. If you have a chance, watch the mixed final. It's incredible. The one thing I love about it Gender became not an issue for the last 8 points of that game. Cupcake, Tom Tullett, was marking Cat Phillips because she's the fastest one in the team and she needs shutting down. A young girl called Princess, she's 20 years old. Oh my goodness, I wish I was playing like her at 20. 20 years old, skying all the men. The men use the zone in a particular kind of way to take their advantage of the space that they can cover. It was Beautiful Mixed Ultimate. It is a way of looking at the sport. We can do it. It's just changing your mindset and going, I may not have seen it, but actually is it true about how women and men play differently? Probably something to think about. Athleticism, so Sushan mentioned this about everyone doing strength and conditioning. This is a huge part of the game now. Someone mentioned how do I get into finding out about it. The Tomorrow program is a really, really good one. Ultimate Athlete Project is another one. Again, they're all online to be paid for, and that is difficult. So can you please raise your hand if you're on a particular program at the moment? Here are all the people you can ask to at least find out how they structure their seasons. Okay? So Ultimate now is having Olympic strength and conditioning seasons. Right now, quite a few of us should be on our off season, right? So we're not doing as much conditioning, we're not doing as much power, we're doing a lot of strength and we're doing a lot of big weights. That's injury prevention and functional weights that are for our sport. So those of you that do CrossFit, there's a big debate going on about CrossFit versus Ultimate. I won't have an opinion about whether it's right or wrong. What I will say is, does the activity you do help you do something that you need in Ultimate? Is something going to help you throw? Is it something going to help you sprint? If it's not really, really have a look whether you need that thing or not. Because the other thing that's going on is people are having off seasons, which Asia tends to not have because we have sun all year round. Let's just play Ultimate all year. But actually, Ultimate players in the US only play 6-month season. They play very hard in that 6-month season, then they switch and play other sports, or they don't do anything. Oh, what? Yes, because the body needs to recover. And you need to also avoid the burnout, the mental burnout of playing Ultimate and playing sport at a high level for so long. Right? Taking an off season is not a bad thing. Talk to your coaches and captains. When's our tough season? When do you think I should take a break? Okay? Decide as a club. It's good. Going to schools. If we want to get to LA in 2028 to play Ultimate as a country and compete at the top, we need to start with the youth. You need to start coaching juniors. You need to start investing in schools. That means going to clubs and getting those under 10s, under 12s, and get them started and inspire them and play with them. Can you imagine it? I was playing against, I was watching mixtapes. A couple of mixtape guys, I coached with them at Professor Ultimate training camps in Chicago and was asking them about how they grow their pipeline of players. Then I realized that Jesse Bolton and Khalif are 24 years old. Khalif is now, I don't know if you've heard of Khalif Al-Salam, he's one of the best mixed players in the US. He's 24 years old, he's already coaching. I asked him when he started when he was 12. I was like, oh my gosh. You've even basically playing the same number of years as me, but he's not half my age. Okay, that's not. Okay, diversity and gender, I won't say it again, but the reason I think Malaysia can absolutely destroy everyone in the future is because you already have diversity in your country. And we said that in the Ultimate scene, diversity is important to us. Under 24, we had tryouts from all of the regions. You have incredible speed here, incredible strategic thinking, critical thinking. You have athletes who've been playing different sports before they start playing Ultimate. You bring that all into the Ultimate scene, and really, really 100% believe Malaysia can make that top elite level in 10 years' time. And you'll beat some more easily in the next 3 to 4. Oh, I didn't tell myself that. Actually, I know already, I already told them. Okay. So I won't do this, I'll just show you a few quick photos about this. This is the US Ultimate Conference. They have a conference every year to discuss the growth of Ultimate across the US. They're competing to get that Olympic spot against sports like lacrosse. The lacrosse has been going for like 100 years or something crazy, and they have 1 million players. Currently in the US, there are 60,000 Ultimate players. How many, do anyone know roughly demographic here? 3,000? 4,000? 3,000 to 4,000 players in Malaysia. That doesn't mean our quality is poor, but now we know what we're up against. If you're choosing a team from a small pool, we have to make sure that pool is really, really equipped. New Zealand is a small country, has 3 million people, yet they win the World Cup rugby every year, or they're competing right at the top. Why? Because they're program for rugby is incredible. With 3 million people in total in the country, they only have a few who are actually playing rugby, and yet they're the best in the world. So it's not about numbers, but it is about smartly using the program. Every year, they have a youth league that's as prestigious as the elite league. So when the US Open was happening, the Youth Club Championships were also happening. I watched the under-20 girls final. There were 3 turnovers in the under-20 girls final at the Youth Club Championships. How many turnovers does your club make? Okay, don't ask that question. How many will they make in 3 years' time? Much less. Things that are good. Malaysians all over the world. So this is Kesh. Some of you may know him. He's the head scorekeeper at the US Open. He's bringing a lot of things back. He's coaching an ultimate club in the US. Tonje is playing for lots of clubs in the US. Sudong has just come back from GB. Woo! Like, we're bringing back learning, not for ourselves. We bring it back to give back to the country. Okay? So some of you feel like, I'm going to university, we're going to go away for a little bit. That's great. Part of getting out of our country is to go pick up things, understand what's going on, see, bring it back here, add it to the scene. I can skip that. That's just, eventually we'll have like an online system, right? We'll have like one of our coaching accreditation and stuff like that. But it's just to show you an example of where it's going. Spirit. So, this is Black Widows. We won Spirit at the US Open, so make sure we always bring something back. Thank you. An incredible achievement. We didn't know about it until actually on the day. And this was actually interesting to me. So I think I've always used the argument that the US wins Spirit as well as winning Worlds, right? Which is just like, if anyone ever says to you, you can't win without sort of sacrificing something about competitiveness, I just don't believe it's true, but it's also, I understand the journey of thought and thinking and experiences. You have to experience it almost to understand what that really means. What was very interesting about this is they're having a problem with Spirit in the US, because no tournaments outside of Worlds level ones do Spirit scoring. So the US is having a problem because their younger players are coming into the scene without that level of Spirit. And it's actually impacting on mental toughness in their games. So you may have noticed some tougher finals that were going on. US women lost at Beach Worlds last year. There was the men's US Nationals finals, semi-finals were very, very heated, and there was concerns about streaming them live when they were not representing the sport well. And it's actually something the US was talking about. They said they should have done this, because their older players did do it and have mental strength in the resilient times needed. They go into universe points, they're under pressure against Japan, they don't crumble. They keep having trust, they keep momentum, they know these sort of like building blocks to having good teamwork. And also, what Sishan said about managing emotions. You can't learn if you're fighting a flight. You can't learn if your brain is in panic mode. So you just can't. So you can't see what's really going on. You don't heads up, you narrow your vision. It's where more layouts into people happen. It's where injuries happen. It's a human thing we do. Your body is trying to shut you down, and it narrows everything to try and keep you here because it's panicking. We don't, at the top level, elite level, you need to be able to think about your job and what you're executing. You need to be able to manage what's going on for you, and then channel the energy to the right places. And so, what teams are doing in the world is they're getting mental strength coaches, so like spirit coaches, but people who are trained counselors or coaching or looking leadership development or neuroplasticity, neuroscience, to understand how the brain works in sport. So those who are studying psychology or neuroscience, yes, we need you in future people, so we need some of those people. But this is a really important thing to think about for your clubs. Does your club talk about how you will behave when you're under pressure? Does your club talk about training so that it's muscle memory when you get into big things? Last thing is, I've just been just joined the World Finance Federation's Spirit of the Game Committee. So there's just 2 of us from Asia, Jude from Philippines, and myself here. I'd like a Malaysian to take my place in the next year, please. Okay. But December 3rd is the International Spirit of the Game Day. We're going to be posting things online about what spirit means to people, and it's specifically focusing on the youth. Okay, so we want to know what you think about spirit. Because actually, this is not about a test. It's a journey of developing yourself as an athlete and as a player. Some of these things about things other people need to know. So, my questions to you as I finish. What role will you play in growing Malaysian Ultimate in the next 10 years? this wonderful committee who have sacrificed so much will not be here, right guys? Well, we'll be playing in Grandmasters final. We go win to Malaysia at the Olympics. We'll take your place in the Olympics. Whilst we're doing that, you need to take on leadership of Malaysian Ultimate and keep growing it. So what role will you play? We need coaches, we need players, we need people who run the associations, we need people who do the administrative side of it, we need managers, we need strength coaches and conditioning coaches, we need spirit and coaches and mental toughness coaches. There's a lot to play. We're going to get there. Please talk to your clubs, Happy Grow Spirit. Please talk to me if you'd like something with Spirit of the Game resources, or for me to connect you to people in the committee to be able to understand a bit more about what's going on in the world for best practice. We can do that. This is my final thing to say, having lived here for over 5 years, and also half Filipino, so my Asian side talking. In Philippines, I don't know if you've noticed, some of our games in Philippines can be pretty heated. And we've actually, I think it's a true problem that in Philippines we're unable sometimes to manage our emotions and talk about what's really going on. Some of that is like cultural disposition that we're working on improving in the game. In Malaysia, you guys are incredible. In this last year, as a nation, you've seen giant changes in the way that you're working together. You talk about one Malaysia, Satu Malaysia, but also you want to make the reality of that is. Under 24, one of our biggest goals was to say this is not for one club or one area or one organization or one role of thinking. We're a country of many thoughts coming together and we're one people. And that was actually one of the main goals, to help you all know each other. This weekend of the trials, we're looking for how you connect with each other. Do you step out of your comfort zone to meet someone you've not met before? They could be your teammate in this next 6 months. And in 10 years' time, they could be your colleague that's on the association with you. So get to know each other, understand what Ultimate is like in their clubs. What challenges are they facing? Is it financial? Is it fields? Is it just strategy and tactics? AUR, you have like the best strength and conditioning program that needs to like share. Right? Care about you just won, using some new tactics and also something about your training schemes. Share it. Now, I know that sounds hard. You're like, what? Why would I share my secrets? Because the one thing I would say is, having played with GB for 10 years, this was the mistake they made. 2 clubs grabbed all the best players. Iceni and Clapham. They will not mind me saying this because it's true. They grabbed all the best players, they built themselves up, they went to all the international tournaments to the detriment of every other club. They didn't share a lot. I mean, they tried some open stuff. Iceni used to do open training, then they kind of shut that down. And as a result now, GB was one of the worst performing youth development programs at under 24 in Perth. And that's just such a shame, right? Like, they have so much talent. It's been 15 years of the same clubs winning every year. Only this direction is going to change because they didn't share. If you share with another club, you're helping everyone improve. Everyone. Imagine if all of us had the speed of helming. Imagine if all of us had the tactical thinking and different strategies. Imagine as a country we're doing that and then we're going out and playing against other countries. You need to think about it that way. Okay, so think the best of each other. Forgive. We're all going to make mistakes. We always experience Ultimate the way we see it, right? We maybe miss out what others people experience in their clubs. Forgive each other, ask each other what's really going on. Okay, how can I help you find a solution together to make it work again? And more inter-club open training sessions. Go coach each other's students. Go share with each other. Just go mechanic with each other. This is the stuff that's going to really change the nation. Okay, thank you very much.
Any questions? Burning questions? Autograph will be later. Yeah, if you think of a question, you can ask there.